This is the set of skills for cell membrane, and the questions are here, but it won't be exactly like this. It'll be definitely a different version this year, but still good enough that'll be helpful. Here is a picture of kind of the questions with a picture of a cell, and this is the inside of the cell and the outside of the cell, and below are the answers. I won't read through these answers, but these answers are necessary for diffusion, osmosis, active and passive transport to be able to answer the questions below. So here are the full answers to the picture, and you want to start off by looking at whether or not it's hypertonic or hypotonic, or maybe perhaps isotonic. Of course, if it was 15 and 15, it'd be isotonic. This one happens to be a higher concentration of solute outside, which means it's saltier on the outside, 45 versus 15. 15 is less, 45 is more. So this is a hypertonic solution. That means that because it's hypertonic, the water will leave the cell. It will dehydrate. So the water on the inside, if you compare the percentages, if it's 15% solute, that means the rest is water. So 85% will be water. 85 plus 15 is 100% total. And then on the outside, since it's 45% solute, it's only 55% water. So we look at the percentages here in blue for water. The water moves from 85% out of the cell to where it's 55%. And that's osmosis. Osmosis is where water moves from an area of high concentration of water to an area of low concentration of water. The solute will do the opposite. And so this one, E, is simple diffusion, where the solute is going from 45% into the cell at 15%. So the solute is going from an area of high solute concentration to an area of low solute concentration. And so that one's simple diffusion. So comparing these two arrows, simple diffusion is the direction that the solute will move. And then the osmosis is the water will always move the opposite direction. On the test, you don't know what these numbers are going to be. It could be hypertonic or hypotonic. Could be isotonic, but not very typical because harder to make this question. Now, if you go to these two arrows here and you compare this one, it's moving the same direction as this one. So this one's also moving 45 to 15. So while the first one, E, is simple diffusion, the second one, F, is facilitated diffusion. If you look at the arrow also goes to here, channel or carrier protein, because this protein, A, is a channel protein in which the facilitated diffusion takes place through. So F and A go together. This is facilitated diffusion, and this is a channel protein. This one over here is moving the wrong direction. That's why it's in red. It's going from 15% solute to 45% solute, and that requires active transport. So active transport requires a pump, and so this D must be a pump. So if you look at G, G is active transport, and G must go with a pump. So those are all the arrows on here. This one is simple diffusion of a solute. This is facilitated diffusion of a solute. This is active transport of a solute. By the way, this is the only one that requires ATP energy. The rest of them do not require ATP energy, and they're known as passive transport. This last one is osmosis of water. And the last two things, a receptor protein sends some sort of a message to the cell, and this is a marker protein where you can recognize what type of cell this is. And that's it.